Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Capricorns, let's take a look at what is the most important Capricorn message, or what is the message trying to come through right now for our Caps. We've got a Two of Wands and the Hierophant. Two of Wands and Hierophant is looking very much like serious stuff, serious choice on the horizon. This could be about a new job opportunity, but this could be not just a job, like, but lifetime career path. This could be about belief systems, and this could also be about a partnership in marriage. But to do that, Capricorn may have to determine, do I want to leave my job and everything I know in order to go be with a great love? I mean, this says, I think Capricorn's going to have some serious soul searching coming up. They're going to have something that enters into their life that challenges what they thought they were comfortable with versus, almost like a leap of faith. Once they ask themselves, okay, higher self, what are we really saying here? I don't know what to do. Let me turn to my higher self. What do I believe? And I think that there is going to be I'll say, an exercise in honesty, an exercise in, like, revealing to oneself, what, come on, self, what do we really think here? What do we really want here? What are we really going to do here? Self, don't fail me now. I feel like this is Capricorn having to have a real heart to heart with their soul, with their subconscious, with their higher self. And I kind of think that their instinct is like, well, what's the first flash of how do you really want to respond? I'm not saying Capricorn instantly just spouts off like, sure, I'll move to the other side of the world and be with this person and figure out how it's all going to work. But I do think that if Capricorn is going to be faced with an option that could be life changing, and Capricorn's like, I need to figure out what the right choice is. I need to connect to my higher self. The higher self says, well, what was your first instinct? What was your first, was it like, oh God, no, I want to run away from this? Then maybe this isn't the right thing to do. Or maybe this is, if your instinct is, oh, that's too much, I don't want to deal with that, then maybe Capricorn's not ready. Maybe they'd be forcing themselves into something that they're not ready for. I don't know. I'm not trying to give advice to this fictional character, but we have a Queen of Swords and we have a Seven of Swords. There's definitely the struggle inside oneself for the quest of the truth. And I think this is hinting that the truth of what Capricorn wants is all in their first internal reaction. What was their first flicker through their brain? Let's say somebody's like, oh, I love Capricorn, I want them to move to be with me. And if Capricorn has any doubts about this, they're like, does this person want me to move to be with them because it would be convenient for them, because they know that I'm a really hard worker and I would add value to their life? Or are they asking me because they're madly in love with me, can't be without me? How come we're not figuring out, like, both of us conversing about how to make this work? Why is it that they're laying this offer out, but then I have to either say yes or no? I'm just throwing out, I'm not saying this is how it is, but I am saying that this is a red flag to me on this card. And then if Capricorn is like fighting with themselves about making a big decision, it might be because somewhere deep down they're like, but wait a second, just because somebody offers me something, where's the negotiation aspect? Now, maybe Capricorn just hasn't come back and negotiated. Maybe that's what they need to do. And maybe that's the part that they're not being honest about with themselves. Maybe they don't want it to be somebody offers me this and I have to say yes or no. If they really want me, they really care about me, then they're going to understand why my subtle wants, likes, dislikes, my happiness and what makes me comfortable, and then negotiating back and forth, they will be open to that and should want to hear my full, take on things, and we should be collaborating to find a solution. If they really care about me, and it's not like they're trying to own me or give me a, like, here's your choice, do you want this or not? That sounds like somebody who's in a power trip to me anyway, versus somebody who is like, here's what I'd love to offer you. What do you think about my offer? Do you want to negotiate? Is there something that, what are your thoughts on this? And I feel like if Capricorn is not being straightforward with what their worries are, or they're not advocating for themselves, or they're not willing to negotiate, they might be keeping themselves silent and trying to just say, well, I guess I have to say yes or no, when I think that's not, I think that that's not true. I think Capricorn needs to have negotiation in this. It doesn't have to be a yes or a no. It has to be, well, I want this, but this, and this I would also need to have happen, or this, and this. Let's find a way to make this work for both of us. Whether it's love, moving for a job, whatever this is, I think the red flag is if Capricorn secretly believes this person is only offering me a yes or a no decision, I have to accept their offer as it stands or I have to reject it completely. I think somewhere in the back of Capricorn's mind is like, that's a red flag if they're not willing to negotiate, because then it means that they just want to basically always get things their way 10,000%. And even if Capricorn wants to say yes to something because they do like the plan, they may also be wondering, but does this person, are they going to be the person who this is how they operate throughout life? It's always going to be, here it is, you take it or leave it. Basically, I always make all the decisions and my decisions are always absolute. I don't think Capricorn's going to like that in any long-term situation, even if they want to be with this job or be with this person. To start out on the footing that says, I need to know, do you think that you're going to kind of always dictate, call all the shots, and have absolute power? Because even if I want the offer that you have, if I'm setting myself up to live in somebody's kingdom where they hold all the power, I don't think I want this. Even if I want what you're offering, I don't want to set a precedence where then you always call all the shots without negotiation. I really think there's a lot to break down here. And maybe this is, Capricorn just like being worried because and it might not be applicable. Maybe they're concerned that somebody might be authoritarian, and in fact they wouldn't be, but Capricorn hasn't tried the negotiation yet, so they're worried about this. They want to make sure that that's not how it is. But is Capricorn being honest with themselves about, I have boundaries that won't be crossed, I have my own wants, I have my own desires, will this person respect my boundaries? I don't know. I haven't tested yet. I haven't come back to them and said, babe, I love this. Or, to an employer, we're not going to call them babe, but to an employer, I say, I love what you're offering. I would like, so much of this is so like perfectly suited to me, but I need to know that there will be some, I'll have input. I need to know that, there are some things that I would not be negotiating on, or there's some things in this contract that I would have to say, no, I need my autonomy on this. Are you going to be comfortable with the fact that you're looking for my expertise? I love working here, but for this new contract we're negotiating, we got to make sure it works for both of us. Are you open to that? Can we alter some things in this? And it might even be little teeny tiny details, just so Capricorn can see, do they instantly get like, I don't want to negotiate anything? Because then Capricorn might have enough data to be like, okay, then I'm so sorry, I don't think I can do this. I do think Capricorn, somewhere in the back of their mind, this is a tough one because they want what somebody offers, but they also don't want to set a precedence where, sure, you can own me. We have a very autonomous Capricorn. With this Nine of Pentacles, let me put it this way. If this is about love or job, whatever it may be, this Capricorn is very self-sufficient already. They do not need this particular job. They do not need this particular, their reputation is already great. This Capricorn can go work for anybody. This Capricorn can find another better lover. I'm just saying, Capricorn does not have to be like, oh my God, they're offering me this. I'll never get an offer like this again. I should just take it at face value. I should go ahead and let them own me. This Capricorn, I don't think anybody should ever let themselves be owned, period. I don't believe in authoritarianism. I'm very against all of that. So personally, I would say, but the cards are supporting this. So it's not just my mouthy little opinion over here. But this says Capricorn's got it going on. Capricorn's going to have no problem. If this person who wants to offer something admittedly that is wonderful and even something that Capricorn wants, but from there on out, everything would be on their terms, I don't think this Capricorn is going to be able to sacrifice their personal autonomy for that. I don't think they want to. And I damn sure think that they don't need to go like accepting what somebody kicks their way. And I'm not saying that Capricorn is like getting kicked crumbs. I think this is a great offer, but I still think Capricorn doesn't need to be in a position or putting themselves in a position where somehow, yes, I will live on my knees and I will accept your decrees. Even if what you're offering me is good, I still don't need to be beneath you waiting for you to decide what I'm allowed to have. I can do it on my own. So if this is, I could picture this is Capricorn negotiating a contract with somebody. Let's say they're going to bring Capricorn in for a consulting job, but they're very, very like, here's what you're going to do. Here's how you're going to do it. This Capricorn might be like, I don't think I can take your job or the contract with you. I operate differently. I maintain some of my own expectations for how my clients have to behave. Not sure we'd work well together. And I think Capricorn can say no, thank you, and manifest something else for themselves. And in fact, it could be a turning point. Capricorn might actually, this could be a moment either in love or in career where they realize I can't just say yes to what other people are offering me without me staying true to what my vision is or what my talents are or the way I choose to run my business or the way I choose to give my heart. I'm not going to get myself into any connection that starts to forget that I'm my own person. I will manifest better for myself. I think personal freedom is more important than security to this character. I kind of think that Capricorn is going to wind up marching on and meeting somebody who marches to the same drum beat that they do naturally without having to fight some kind of control aspect. There's a huge sense of freedom. I march to my own drum. I think Capricorn is kind of headed for a King of Wands relationship. I don't know that Capricorn will be able to say yes to like a proposal of marriage from somebody that they have a fear is too, like I say, too controlling. I don't see Capricorn taking on a career path or a job or contract with a client that might be too, or an employer that might be, they could already see that this employer has like very controlling ways. I think Capricorn's beyond that. There are times in life where, we get hired at somebody's company and they're like, this is the way we do it. We don't want your creativity. We want you to follow this to the letter. This is our brand. We're hiring you to do a function that promotes the brand the way we want it promoted. We already had a marketing team. We've decided this is how it's done. Would you like the job or not? We'll pay you well, but we're not paying you for your creativity. If that is what the organization is and it's straightforward and we know, we're like, oh yeah, cool. I don't want to bring my creativity. I just want to function in the parameters you've already set. Okay, that's a whole different way to deal with this contract. And then it's not like, oh, you're so controlling. My boss has a brand and they want to promote it their way and they hired me to do this. No, but if this is something where Capricorn, it's not, we have to know what the contract is. We have to know what we're getting into, and then we have to know if we like it or not. Capricorn clearly, I think, says, not so sure that that's going to suit me. I think I'd rather maintain more freedom. I think my happiness, my 10 of cups is elsewhere. In this storyline, this is looking more like it's about love. I think this storyline says Capricorn might have always been a little unsure about a connection that just suddenly gets really serious. Capricorn might be saying no, or maybe this was in the past. Maybe Capricorn is realizing the reason I had to break it off with somebody that I was thinking I would marry, and there were so many wonderful things about them, but deep down, the reason I think I broke it off is because I don't know that I trusted that my voice would really be heard over their own. And I think I made the right choice for me. I would rather be single, manifest differently on my own, and maybe match with somebody who's got a little bit more of a, supporting individuality, a little bit more of a wild side themselves. I think that's where my happiness lies. This is not to vilify somebody who has a very powerful belief system and is offering something. This could have been a perfect match for Capricorn. There's nothing here that says, oh, they're oppressive, they're a tyrant. We don't have negative cards except Capricorn lying to themselves about whether or not this would feel secure or whether it would feel a little bit too confining. And for this particular Capricorn, it felt a little too confining. That is not to say that the person offering them something was bad or oppressive. We do not need to call them a villain because they weren't. They might have been offering something beautiful, but it just wasn't the life Capricorn wanted. So actually, I really like it's honoring who we are on the inside, but not having to say, well, I guess I have to accept what they're saying, what they're offering me, or I have to say that they're horrible, they're a villain. I love the fact that the storyline is not picking on somebody, nor are we picking on Capricorn. Capricorn gets it the right to do what's right for themselves. That I love about this. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up. Bye.